Hi, welcome back to my guitar channel. And let me first have a sip of this delicious coffee I made myself. And here you can see Super Papa, which means Super Daddy in Dutch. This was not the present from the last Father's Day, but a couple of years ago. A nice little present, and the coffee tastes delicious from that mug. Okay, but you're not here to watch me sipping some coffee. Probably you are interested in some guitar music. Last Monday, in the video I posted, I practiced the intro part of Rhiannon, and I was also very stoked because I noticed that within 20 minutes of practicing I got the intro part nailed. So I thought, because the intro part is a little bit more sophisticated than I initially thought. I was already telling you that Lindsey Buckingham is a great guitar player, and in my opinion he's a very underrated guitar player. He's the guitarist of Fleetwood Mac, and I was also telling you that he is brilliant in creating some simple but very terrific guitar parts. Well, he also makes very difficult guitar parts, and I was also telling that. And Rhiannon is a little bit more difficult than it at first glance seems to be. The bass line of the intro part is rhythmically very different from just the 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 beats in a bar where every note is at the same distance from each other. So that bass line on its own is interesting. Let me play it, because this is the pattern of the bass line. Oh, excuse me. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I was counting in Dutch. Yeah, why? A habit. Let me count in English. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And on top of this bass line you play, as you know, the melody line. And that's, the melody is this. Excuse me. And those you have to put together. The bass line I played was just this. So every note at the same distance from each other, with the same rhythm part. Instead of and the difficulty is combining the melody, which has another rhythm behind it, with the bass line. And it's, for me, not possible right now to learn this by playing the bass and then putting the melody behind it. That's very difficult. But I tried, and I put the tempo very down. I had to listen to the song over and over again, and I was watching some tutorials online on where you put the bass notes, and sometimes it's at the same time of the melody notes which are played, but sometimes you play a bass note on its own. And when you know when to play the bass line on its own, when to play it with the melody lines, and you are listening to the song to get the feel for the rhythm, that for me is the way to get the groove of the song and to sometimes get the right um, pattern played. What also helps is when I'm recording myself and I'm watching myself back, or sometimes I only have the audio recording and I'm just listening to the bass line. Is this correct right now? Is this the right tempo? I think I got it somehow nailed right now, the first part, and I want to play it for you. And if I'm doing it right, you should hear the bass line with this pattern. That is what you should hear. I think I got it nailed. It is so difficult. It took me yesterday. I was watching some TV with my wife. And I was just on the couch picking some strings and to get the feel for it. And yeah, probably I was picking strings for an hour or something. And this morning another 50 minutes. And yeah, right now I've got the pattern nailed. No, wrong. Wrong. That was right. Wrong. Okay, this is very, how can I put it? This feels very unnatural, and probably that's the reason why I initially played it wrong, because I'm used to playing the bass lines alongside with the same pattern as the melody, and especially the three fast bass beats after each other. Yeah, that's very tricky and not something that's in my system yet. So it's not that by intuition I can play this with hearing the bass line and play it correctly at the same time. I have to analyze it. I cannot play it by intuition. Probably when I nail this and this is in my system, and the songs which have similar different rhythms in the bass and the melody lines, I can pick it up faster because then it's already trained in my system, in my ear, in my fingers. But right now I have to very systematically and analytically try to play it, and yeah, right now it's still a lot of concentration it takes from me to play it right. So I'm not able to play it with a groove and musically without too much concentration. Let me try to play it the way I used to do it, and that feels more natural. Yeah, I hope I can switch back to the other mode. That will be difficult enough. Oh, this is now in my system and it's very hard to switch back. No, impossible. But I was playing the bass lines with the same pattern, the same distance between each other in time. Yeah, this was my little update on it. One more thing. This is the I've not learned the whole intro yet because the first part is this, like I played before. And then the next thing, and that's giving me a lot of headache and finger pain, because the bass line of the next part of the intro is on the first fret of the low E string, but I also have to play an F chord. So if you can see my fingers, those are on the strings to make the F chord, but the thumb on the the lowest E string, the bending of that is very hard because the stretch of my fingers is not too far. I have not very long fingers, short stubby fingers, so that's giving me a little bit of trouble, but because the next part is this. You could hear it here, and I have that a lot of the times that there are some strings buzzing, and most of the time it's the thickest E string, but also when I'm able to get the thickest E string to sound good, my thumb is a little bit more towards the headstock of the guitar, and then my middle finger has trouble to get what is most ideal far to the fret on the outside of the third fret. So it's a little bit in the middle, and then there is also a possibility of a buzzing string. Or an out of tune string, but my stretch isn't far enough yet, and I don't know if I'm able to create it with some practice to get that correct. To finish off, let me try to play, and that will be difficult, the intro in its totality, with both parts glued together, and I will play it slowly. No? Oh, it's so much concentration. Well. No. Ooh, so difficult. Ah. No, I almost got it. I haven't been able to play around without any mistakes. So that should give you an idea of the difficulty for me, at least. One mistake. Mistake. Whew. No mistakes, but a little bit tricky on the rhythm part. I was taking a little bit too much time because I had to concentrate on finding the right strings. So there was a little bit of a delay in the last part, but these were all the correct notes played. %100% correct, but a little bit of buzzing, and that will still be the challenge thing for me in practicing this part integrally. The buzzing and getting the thumb on the first fret, and then create a stretch which is far enough to get the F chords, the notes within that sound good, will be the challenge. Thank you for watching. I hope you was finding this interesting. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna read an English book right now. Bye.